Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a critical question that has been on the minds of strategists, policymakers, and ordinary people alike. If the United States and China go to war, who loses and how would it unfold hour by hour? This is not just a hypothetical scenario. It is a look into the balance of power, the risks of escalation, and the immense costs both nations would face. In the very first hours of a conflict, the battle would almost certainly begin in the Pacific. China's military strategy places heavy emphasis on missiles, cyber warfare, and electronic disruption. The U.S. relies on its carrier strike groups, submarines, and global intelligence network. In the opening minutes, China would likely try to overwhelm American bases in Guam and Japan with precision strikes, aiming to blind U.S. forces before they can mobilize. At the same time, cyber attacks could target American satellites, communications, and even financial systems, throwing the U.S. into temporary confusion. The United States, however, would not remain idle. Within the first 2 hours, American submarines positioned across the Pacific would begin targeting Chinese warships and blockading critical sea lanes. The U.S. Air Force would scramble from bases in Japan, South Korea, and even Australia. The initial losses on both sides would be devastating. The first hours of the war would set the stage for a conflict unlike any in history. By the fourth hour, economic warfare would become just as important as military strikes. The U.S. could impose immediate blockades on shipping routes through the Strait of Malacca, cutting China off from vital oil supplies from the Middle East. At the same time, China would retaliate by launching massive cyber campaigns to destabilize American financial markets. Unlike previous wars, this would not only be fought on the seas or in the skies, but inside every computer, every stock exchange, and every power grid. Within 6 hours, regional allies would be pulled into the conflict. Japan, South Korea, and possibly the Philippines would become battlegrounds. U.S. bases there would be prime targets for missile attacks. China would try to assert control over Taiwan, likely launching airborne and amphibious operations. The United States, bound by its commitments, would step in with naval reinforcements. Every hour, casualties would rise, and the chance of escalation would grow more dangerous. By the 12th hour, the global economy would begin to feel the full shock. Stock markets would plummet. Oil prices would skyrocket. Trade routes that supply everything from electronics to food would be cut off. Even nations not directly involved in the fighting would experience